Your face is on a poster in every post office in America. $100,000 reward. Armed and dangerous. Do not approach. 6 years ago, you took an oath to protect and serve. You meant it. You raised your right hand. You believed every word. You were the person your family was proud of at Thanksgiving, the person strangers thanked for your service. Now, the FBI has your photograph, your fingerprints, your last known location. Now the people you used to work with are the ones hunting you. Here's how a good cop becomes America's most wanted. It doesn't happen overnight. It never does. Level 1, Patrol Officer. Salary, $52,000 a year. You are 23 years old, idealistic, and completely unprepared for what this job actually is. The academy was 6 months. You learned constitutional law, use of force, criminal procedure. You shot a Glock 17 until hitting targets under stress felt automatic. You ran scenarios, domestic violence calls, traffic stops, active shooters, with instructors playing suspects who fought back, ran, pulled weapons. Every instructor said the same thing. Every call could be your last. You graduated on a Saturday. Your mother cried. Your father shook your hand for longer than usual. You received your badge, your gun, your oath. Your first week on patrol, you respond to a domestic violence call. A woman with a bruised eye, a drunk husband, kids crying in the back room. You don't know what to say. Your field training officer handles it. You just watch. Your first month, you make your first arrest. Drunk driver. You handcuff him. You process him. You put someone in a cage for the first time, and it feels surreal in a way nobody warned you about. Your first year, you see everything. Overdoses, suicides, a teenager who was texting and driving, now wrapped around a tree. You help the coroner bag the remains. You go home. You can't eat. Your girlfriend asks if you're okay. You say yes. You're already learning to lie about how you feel. Every cop does. It's how you survive the job. Level 2, Senior Patrol Officer. 5 years in. Salary, $67,000. You know these streets better than you know your own apartment. You also know something nobody tells you at the academy. The system is broken in ways that can't be fixed from inside a patrol car. You arrest the same dealer on the same corner 3 times in 4 months. He's back on the street within 48 hours each time. Same corner, same product. You watch it happen, and you feel something shift inside you. Not corruption yet, just a deep, grinding frustration that has nowhere to go. You also start noticing money, not your money, the money moving through your streets. A mid-level dealer you've been watching for 2 years drives a $90,000 car, lives in a house worth $500,000. His girlfriend wears jewelry that costs more than your annual salary. You arrested him 6 months ago. He was out in 3 days. You pulled him over last Tuesday for a broken taillight. He looked at you through the window like you were the inconvenience. One afternoon, your partner, 8 years on the job, someone you trust, pulls you aside after a shift. He tells you about a conversation he had. He doesn't use names yet. He just asks, "What would you do with an extra $500 a month?" You don't answer, but you don't walk away either. Level 3. The line you tell yourself isn't a line. Extra income, $1,500 a month. What you tell yourself, you're just looking the other way. What you're actually doing, becoming something you can't come back from. It starts small. A dealer named Marcus operates 3 blocks from your regular patrol route. Your partner has been receiving $500 a month from Marcus for 8 months, in exchange for a 30-minute window every Thursday evening where that block doesn't get patrolled. Your partner brings you in. The first payment is $750, cash, left in an envelope in your locker on a Thursday morning. You don't spend it right away. It sits in your apartment for 2 weeks while you tell yourself you're going to return it, report it, do the right thing. Then your transmission blows. $1,800 repair bill. You spend the $750. The second envelope arrives the following Thursday. You keep it. Here's what you don't understand yet. Marcus isn't paying for a 30-minute window. Marcus is paying for insurance. He's paying so that when something goes wrong, when a shipment gets flagged, when a witness needs to be discouraged, when evidence needs to disappear from a property room, he has someone on the inside who can't say no, because you already said yes. In New York City in the 1990s, one police officer made 10 times his annual salary in protection money from dealers. He eventually forgot to collect his legitimate paycheck. It's not a story about a bad person who became a cop. It's a story about a line that moved so slowly, the officer never noticed it moving. You notice it. You just keep moving with it. Level 4, fully compromised. Extra monthly income, $4,000 to $8,000 depending on the month. Official salary, still $67,000. the salary you almost never think about anymore. Risk. You are now committing federal crimes every week. You just don't feel like a criminal yet. Marcus introduces you to someone bigger, a man named Torres, who doesn't deal on corners. Torres moves product through 3 legitimate businesses, a car wash, a restaurant, and a construction company. He needs 2 things from a police officer: early warning on raids in his territory, and clean paperwork when his people get stopped. You provide both. The raid warnings come through legitimate channels. You monitor police radio and internal communications for activity in Torres's neighborhoods and send a text from a prepaid phone when anything moves close. The prepaid phone lives in your car, not your apartment. The clean paperwork is more dangerous. A stop that should result in a search gets written up as a routine check. No contraband found, subject released. It happens 4 times in 3 months. Each time, you write the report. Each time, the report goes into a system that 6 different agencies can access. Each time, the lie becomes a permanent record. Your monthly cash income is now more than your official salary. You move to a better apartment. You tell people you're doing some consulting work on the side. Your girlfriend notices you seem less stressed. She says the job must be getting easier. In Miami in the 1980s, 19 police officers ran a crew called the Enterprise, raiding drug boats, stealing cocaine, selling it themselves. They operated for years before a night watchman saw their faces. Eventually, one of them fled to Colombia and ended up on the FBI's 10 most wanted list, number 423. He'd been a police officer for 7 years before his first drug theft. You've been doing this for 14 months. You tell yourself you're smarter than those Miami cops. You are not smarter than those Miami cops. Level 5. Witness intimidation. This is no longer corruption. This is federal felony territory. The FBI has a unit specifically for this. They are very good at their jobs. A woman named Diane saw something she shouldn't have. She was driving past one of Torres's properties when a transaction went wrong. She saw faces. She talked to a detective from a different precinct, not yours, someone you don't have reach into. Torres calls you on the prepaid phone. He tells you the situation. He doesn't ask you to hurt her. He asks you to visit her, informally, as a police officer, to explain, using whatever language you think is appropriate, that coming forward is a significant decision with significant consequences for her family. You go. You drive to her apartment in your personal car, not your patrol car. You don't wear your uniform. You knock on her door at 8 p.m. on a Tuesday. She opens it. You show her your badge. You talk for 11 minutes. She doesn't testify. What you don't know, standing in her doorway, is that 3 weeks earlier, an FBI public corruption unit opened a file. Not on Torres, on you. A financial analysis flagged a pattern. Your spending doesn't match your salary. Your apartment costs more than your salary supports. Your car was paid in cash. The file has a number. Your name is in it. You walk back to your car after those 11 minutes and you feel, for the first time, genuinely afraid. Not of Torres, of what you've become. Your mother calls on a Sunday afternoon. She asks how the job is going. She says she saw a news story about a police officer who got hurt and she worries about you. You tell her you're fine. You tell her the job is going well. You tell her you might get a promotion soon. She says she's proud of you. She says your father would have been proud too. The call lasts 9 minutes. When you hang up, you sit in your car in the parking lot of a grocery store for 20 minutes. You don't go inside. You don't know what you're waiting for. Level 6. FBI target. You are now the subject of a federal public corruption investigation. You don't know this yet. That's exactly how they want it. The FBI doesn't arrest people when they first identify them. They watch. They build. They document every transaction, every meeting, every prepaid phone call they can tie to you. They pull your financial records, every account, every transaction for 3 years. They interview people who have seen you with Torres without those people knowing they're part of an investigation. 2 agents follow you on 3 separate Tuesdays. You don't notice. You've stopped being careful because 14 months of not getting caught made you feel like you were good at this. That feeling, the feeling of being good at something you shouldn't be doing, is the most dangerous thing in your life right now. Then your partner gets arrested. Not for corruption. A DUI, completely unrelated. A Tuesday night mistake that puts him in a precinct holding cell with his name in the system. But the FBI is monitoring the system. And when your partner's name appears, it connects to the file with your name in it, Within 48 hours, two things happen. First, a federal warrant is issued for your partner's phone records. Second, someone who knows someone calls Torres and tells him the FBI is moving. Torres calls the prepaid phone. He says two words: clean up. You sit in your apartment and stare at the wall. You know what clean up means. It means destroy everything. The prepaid phone, any cash you have on hand, any records, any connection. It also means you have maybe 72 hours before federal agents knock on your door. Level 7, America's Most Wanted. Federal charges: racketeering, bribery, obstruction of justice, witness intimidation. Reward: $100,000. Your face is in every law enforcement database in the country. You used to be in those databases as an officer. Now you're in them as a target. You run. Not a plan, a panic. You take $11,000 in cash from your apartment, a bag of clothes, and your personal car. You drive south. The FBI knows your car within 6 hours. A toll camera in Georgia captures your plate at 3:47 a.m. By morning, U.S. Marshals are coordinating with state police across 4 states. You ditch the car in South Carolina. You pay cash for a bus ticket using a name that isn't yours. You change buses twice. You call no one. Not your mother, not your girlfriend, not anyone from your old life. Because you know exactly how investigations work. You know that the first thing agents do is put phones on the people closest to a fugitive. You know that a single call, 30 seconds, a wrong number, anything, can be triangulated to a cell tower that narrows your location to a 3-block radius. You know this because they taught you this in the academy. 6 months, constitutional law, criminal procedure. You use what you learned to run from the people who taught you. You sleep in a motel outside Charlotte, paying cash, using a name on a registration card that nobody checks. You watch the news on a television bolted to the wall. Your face appears on the screen at 11 p.m., armed and dangerous. $100,000 reward. Do not approach. You turn off the television. You sit in the dark. You think about the oath. You raised your right hand. You meant it. Level 8. They find you on a Wednesday morning. Not because of great detective work, because someone recognized your face from the news broadcast and called the tip line. A man at a gas station in rural Tennessee saw you buying coffee and a road map at 7 a.m. He didn't approach you. He waited until you drove away. He wrote down the direction you turned. He called the number on the screen. 40 minutes later, a roadblock. You see it before they see you. 3 police cruisers across the highway, a van behind them. You stop the car. You sit for a long moment. Then you put both hands on the steering wheel where they can see them. You don't run. Not because you're out of options, because somewhere, underneath everything you became, there is still a person who knows how this should end. They approach with weapons drawn. They tell you to get out of the car. You do. They put you on the ground. They cuff you. They read you your rights. The same rights you read to 200 people over 8 years of patrol. The same words. Different meaning now. You are driven to a federal holding facility. Your case will take 2 years to work through the courts. You will plead guilty to 4 federal charges. You will be sentenced to 11 years. Level 9. Somewhere right now, a 23-year-old is graduating from a police academy. Their family is in the audience. Their mother is crying. Their father is shaking their hand for longer than usual. They receive a badge, a gun, an oath. They raise their right hand. They mean every word. They have no idea what the job is actually going to ask of them. The frustration, the broken system, the money moving through streets they patrol for $52,000 a year, the partner who pulls them aside after a shift. Most of them will hold the line. Most. But somewhere in that graduating class is someone whose line will move. Slowly. So slowly, they won't feel it moving. Until the day they're staring at a roadblock on a Tennessee highway with $11,000 in cash and nowhere left to run. And they'll think about the oath, and they'll remember that they meant it. That's the part that stays with you, that you meant it.